Good day, everyone. Welcome to Transformation Tuesday. Excuse me for being a few minutes late, coming on, life happens, and so we keep going. So thanks for being patient. And welcome. Welcome to my Transformation Tuesday on this brilliant spring day. Do you ever feel like things are just not happening fast enough for you? Do you ever feel like you just want to see the results and the changes that you're working so hard to create in your life? If so, you could put faster in the comments in the chat. And if you're joining me live, please say hello and tell me where you're coming in from. And if you're watching the replay, same. Say hello. Let me know where you are at. I always love to know who joins me. So welcome again to Transformation Tuesday with me, Liz Forrest. And as you may or may not know, I'm a master shamanic teacher of over 25 years. I've been sharing Toltec wisdom and empowering people to live their authentic truth, create their dream life, and step right into their empowerment. And I continue to study and learn and practice as well. And I've learned some really important, valuable lessons for myself, and that's my intent to pass on to you. And today we're going to talk about the fifth spiritual practice based in Toltec wisdom in just a few minutes. I love to share that I spend time in Mexico every year for twice. I go twice. I take groups there to immerse ourselves in the Toltec culture with my mentor Don Valentin Cervantes and his family, and have learned such a great deal from Don Valentin, specifically the cultures and the traditions and the teachings of the Toltec path, and also great teachings in humility and enjoying life, no matter what is coming at us, no matter what we're experiencing in our day-to-day, or even the really big transitions in our life. Valentin is a beautiful teacher of never allowing anything to take your joy, even in the moments of grief, to hold both. So I'm thinking about that today for myself, and I wanted to pass that on to you, that we can hold joy and we can hold grief at the same time. A good friend of mine says they live in the same house, and I have found that to be truer and truer as my years go by. So sending love to Mexico, to Teotihuacan, to the home of the Toltecs, and to my soul family, the Cervantes, who live there in a small village right across the road. So in this episode of Transformation Tuesday, I'm going to talk about the fifth of the 11 spiritual practices for personal growth. I really feel these practices create a pathway back to our heart center and back to and up-level our integrity. One by one, they lead us through the distortion and the fog that this dream of the planet that we're all residing in presently can throw us into daily. And I always love to go over the first practices that I've taught in the last few weeks on Transformation Tuesday, just briefly, to keep strengthening this new foundation for our personal growth. And if you've missed them, they're all here in Loving Transformation. All the replays stay up for you to watch if you like. And you can also find them in Toltec Teachings with Liz Forrest, which is my public page, and my YouTube channel under Liz Forrest. So you can go back over them if you've already watched them, or if you haven't seen them yet, they're available to you. Well, let's just talk about the first four before we go into today's. So the first one we talked about was awareness. Deepening your awareness of how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself, speak about yourself, really how you treat yourself, bringing your awareness to you, how you treat yourself in all aspects of yourself. Awareness, the place we start. The second practice we've talked about is discipline. Discipline equates action. You taking action. Discipline is what supports the changes that you want to make in your life for your highest good, to step out of any unhappiness or unfulfillment that you are suffering. Discipline equates action. The third one we talked about is refraining from self-judgment. Whew, that's kind of a big one, isn't it? Because we can be so habitual in how we judge ourselves, our physical, our emotions, our intellect, our value, all the ways that you do that. And so refraining, learning how to refrain from taking yourself down with unkind self-talk. Yeah, that's an ongoing practice, I feel. All of these are ongoing, and some may really jump out at you more than others. And those are the ones that are really holding information for you about yourself. Yeah, and what you might want to work with practicing to change. And the fourth one that we talked about last week is respect. And the kind of respect I'm talking about here really involves all three of the practices that came before. Awareness, discipline, refraining from self-judgment. All of those help us to respect ourselves in a higher vibration. Becoming aware of yourself in each moment by moment by moment. Disciplining yourself to not abandon yourself, no matter what, no matter when it gets a little challenging or really challenging, not to abandon yourself. That's also a practice of discipline. Refraining from that self-judgment and knowing that choosing a different action next time holds a better result than judging the choice that you made before. Yeah. Okay, so are you ready for the fifth spiritual practice based in Toltec wisdom for personal growth? If so, you could say ready in the comments. And this one really, this is one of my favorites. I really appreciate them all so much, but this really is one of my favorites. And it is patience. Patience. I really love the patience practice because it teaches us to be kind and gentle with our precious self. It's a great gift to give to yourself because, you know, maybe in your domestication, as was really apparent in mine, that wasn't something that I was taught to be gentle. I was taught to be strong, to keep persevering, to keep pushing forward. And that's a really different way of living than to, yeah, not abandon yourself, keep going for your goals, keep going for the things that you want to change. But again, to be patient and maybe fierce at the same time. Be patient and dedicated, committed to what it is you are wanting to manifest in your life, and be patient. It's a challenging one because, you know, us Westerners, in my experience and in my own life, we want change fast, overnight if possible. We want to take a weekend course and have it all figured out. We want to see the results in the shortest time possible. We want to see the benefits as expediently as we can. But spiritual transformation, it doesn't work like that. It's not about the goal. It's about the process, day by day, sometimes moment by moment. And the process takes time. It takes time. And it takes time to allow yourself to patiently look at your wounds from the past. The past influences that you are bringing forward that still influence your present. The agreements, the belief systems that you took on as a younger person that you maybe intellectually know are not serving you, and you want to change them now. It takes patience to allow the light to shine on them and have a look, first of all, to have a look at those wounded places in yourself, and then to embrace them, to clean them, we call it, clean them. There's many practices that I teach about how to do that, how to energetically, emotionally clean the wounds from your past. And then to integrate those changes that you create by bringing your wounding out into your consciousness, and in these ways allowing them to heal. And that can take time. And it takes patience. Patience to allow that healing transformation to occur. So how do we do that? How do we be patient with ourselves when, as I've already shared, a lot of us have been domesticated and programmed to want things to change so quickly and to want to see the results right away, even though that's very unrealistic in a lot of ways to expect that, because then we're also holding an expectation of how that's going to look, which I don't know if this is true for you, but for me, it never shows up the way I think it's going to. It shows up in a very different way, in a very different package. Yeah, the results are not exactly what I envision. And most of the time, they are so much more than what I envision. So to practice patience, staying in the moment is the one big key, even with the discomfort or the pain that arises from uncovering those wounds inside you. Staying present. Know that healing is happening by holding yourself in this way, even if you don't see it yet. Even if you don't see it yet. Trusting that healing is happening by the way you are becoming aware and taking care of yourself and respecting yourself and not judging yourself and not bailing on yourself. All those pieces hold you in your healing transformation on your spiritual path. And you might not see the results immediately. You might, and you might not. So that's where being patient with yourself and your process. It gives yourself respect and love. And love as you transform the painful places in you that you might have been carrying around for your whole life. Maybe your whole life, maybe a long time. So I want to say here that being patient and practicing patience with yourself, I'm not talking about avoidance or denial. No, patience is holding yourself in your truth with gentleness and kindness. I'm going to say that again. It's not avoidance. Being patient is not denial. We all know when we're going out the back door with ourselves. We all know that. And there's a very different feeling attached to that. And that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about here is being patient in holding yourself with your truth, with gentleness and kindness, and continuing to go forward into your manifestation. Yeah, holding yourself in your truth, being patient, being kind, being gentle with yourself as you move through the big pieces that you are wanting to shift and change in your life. Yeah. Join me next Tuesday right here for the 6th of the 11 spiritual practices for personal growth. I thank you so much for joining me today. I also want to say I'm going to be announcing something really exciting next Tuesday, a week today. And so please tune in either live or watch the replay. I have some big news that I'm going to be sharing with you next week. So I'll see you then. Thank you for watching. I send you all my love. And remember, be patient and gentle with yourself.